Hello children, this is chapter number 11 of History, Political Development, the Gupta period, AD 320 to AD 540. Children, in the previous chapter, in chapter number 8, the First Empire, we have studied that the Mauryan dynasty came to an end by the Shunga dynasty and Shunga dynasty was established. There was also a series of foreign invasions from the northwest led by Indo-Greek, Shakas, Parthians and Kushans. After the breakup of Mauryan Empire, many small kingdoms had emerged all over the country. These kingdoms were the Shakas, the Pallavas and the Kushans. After the decline of Mauryan Empire, the Satvahans and Kushans arose, two important political powers in India. Both these empires came to an end in the middle of the 3rd century AD. Gupta Empire arose power after the ruins of Kushans. After Mauryan Empire, Gupta was the second most powerful empire of ancient India. Gupta Empire kept North India political united. What are the sources to get the information about the Gupta period? We get information about the Gupta period from archaeological sources and literary sources both. Literary sources of Gupta period are Prashastis, writings of famous writers like Kalidasa, Bhasa, etc., accounts of foreign travelers like Faheen, Hyun Sung, etc. Prashastis are very important and unique source to know about Gupta period. Prashasti is a special kind of inscription. It is a Sanskrit word which means in praise of. Prashastis were composed by the poet praising and glorifying the special qualities and achievements of the kings. The founder of Gupta dynasty was Sri Gupta, who ruled from AD 240 to AD 280. Chandragupta I. He ruled from AD 320 to AD 335. Under Chandragupta I, the Gupta Empire became powerful in the north. He made Patliputra his capital. His kingdom extended from Magad to Prayag, which is known Allahabad presently. He consolidated his kingdom over the east portion of northern India. He was married to Kumara Devi. She was the princess of Lichavi tribe of Vaishali. He took the title of Maharaja Dhiraj, which means King of Kings. Chandragupta I revived many of Ashoka's principles of government. Samudragupta. He was the king of Chandragupta I. He ruled from AD 335 to AD 380. The Gupta kingdom was extended by Samudragupta. He extended the kingdom into an empire over the whole of north and west in Deccan. The main source of information about his reign is an inscription engraved on a pillar at Allahabad. This inscription is also known as the Prayag Prashasti. Samudragupta's Prayag Prashasti, the Pillar of Allahabad. It has a long poem in Sanskrit inscribed on it. It was composed by Harisena around 1700 years ago. Harisena was the court poet of Samudragupta. It praises about Samudragupta's rule, his conquest, his bravery, his knowledge and learning in glowing terms. Samudragupta was the most powerful ruler and warrior king of Gupta dynasty. Harisena describes 4 different kinds of rules and mentions Samudragupta's policies towards them. The rulers of Aryavarta. These were 9 rulers who uprooted and their kingdom were made of a part of Samudragupta's empire. The rulers of Dakshinapat. These were 12 rulers who surrendered to Samudragupta after being defeated and he then allowed them to rule again. The inner circle of neighboring states including Assam, coastal Bengal, Nepal and a number of Gan sung in northwest. They brought tribute, followed his rulers and attended his court. The rulers of the outlying areas, the descendants of Kushans and Shakas, and the ruler of Sri Lanka who submitted him and offered daughters in marriage. In the glowing praises of Samudragupta, it is inscribed on the Ashokan pillar that he was never defeated in any war. Because of his bravery and ambitious spirit, he was often referred to as the Napoleon of India. Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II ascended the throne of Patliputra in AD 380 to AD 412. He took the title of Vikramaditya. Chandragupta II was conqueror like his father Samudragupta. He defeated the Shakas and took control of the ports of Bharuch, Cambay and Sopara. He strengthened his position by marriage alliances. Fall of the Gupta Empire. Chandragupta II was succeeded by his son Kumaragupta, and Kumaragupta was succeeded by his son Skandagupta. During this time, the empire was facing the invasions by the Huns. Huns were excellent horsemen and archers. Skandagupta defeated the Huns but did not live long after that. The last ruler of Gupta dynasty was Narsimha Gupta. System of administration of Guptas. The Gupta divided the empire into provinces, districts and villages. There was a decentralization of powers. The village was the basic unit of administration. The village headman was very important. Land revenue was the important source of income. Some administrative posts were hereditary, such as Mahadandanayak or Chief Judicial Officer. Sandhi Vigrahika was the Minister of War and Peace. Senapati, Mahasenapati, Mahabaladhikarita was some of the important military officers. Samantas were the intermediator between king and the peasants who had also the authority to collect land revenue. Other important ministers of local administration were Nagar Shreshti or chief merchant of the city. Sarthavaha was the leader of the merchant caravans. Pratham Kulika was the chief craftsman and the head of Kayasth or scribes. Samanta's work was to collect land revenue of the village. Army of Gupta dynasty. Gupta kings maintained a well-organized army with elephants, chariots, cavalries and foot soldiers. Land revenue was used to maintain soldiers and horses and to provide equipments for warfare. Life in the Gupta period. We know a lot about the political, social and economic life of the Gupta period from the account of Fahin, Hyun Sung, plays of Kalidasa, etc. Kings and Brahmins were used to speak Sanskrit language. Prakrit language was used by the common people. Art and architecture of Gupta period. Gupta period was regarded as the golden age of Indian culture. The Gupta rulers produced a large number of golden coins in ancient India. This indicates the prosperity of Gupta Empire. Art and architecture flourished under the patronage of Gupta kings. Numerous temples were built such as Dasavatara temple at Deogarh, the Bhitargaon temple near Kanpur, Sanchi temple constructed of bricks and stones, Buddhist monasteries, the cave temples at Ajanta which contains paintings representing the various life of Buddha. These are 48 caves which are filled with Buddhist sculptures. The first rock temple at Elephanta contains a powerful 18-foot statue of three-headed Shiva. Literature of Gupta period. The Gupta period had rich literature, excellent poems and dramas. These all were composed in Sanskrit at this time. The greatest writer of the time was Kalidas, lived during the reign of Chandragupta II. He was best known for his plays such as Meghdoot, Raghuvamsha, Kumar Sambhav, Abhijanan Shakuntalam, etc. Who were Huns? Huns were a nomadic people who lived in Central Asia. Towards the middle of 5th century AD, tribals called the Huns from Central Asia started attacking India. The first invasion took place in AD 458, although Skandgupta defeated the Huns, but their repeated attacks made the Gupta kingdom poorer and weaker, and finally the Huns occupied areas of Punjab and Kashmir from the Guptas. Huns remained in power for about 100 years and then their power declined. Who was Fahin? Fahin was a Chinese pilgrim who visited different parts of the Gupta Empire. He came to India during Chandragupta's reign. Fahin's account. The account of Fahin's give us a vivid picture of the life of the common people of the Gupta period. When Chandragupta II was the head of his kingdom, he was assisted by a council of ministers. The Gupta Empire was divided into provinces or also called bhuktis. These were assisted by a group of officials called Kumar Matyas. Provinces were divided into districts or Vishyas. They were placed under the charge of Vishyapatis. The Gupta rulers were Vaishya natives. They were the followers of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Gupta rulers followed the religious sacrifices such as Ashwamedh, that means horse sacrifice. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purans and Smritis were composed during this time. Amar Simha wrote a Sanskrit dictionary named Amar Kosh. Science and technology. Science and technology were also progressed during this period. Aryabhatta and Varahamihira were two famous mathematicians and astronomers of this period. Aryabhatta wrote a book of mathematics and astronomy named Aryabhatiyans. He also stated that the earth moves on its axis. He also discovered the cause of the lunar and solar eclipse. The concept of zero was also known and introduced to the world by Aryabhatta. Varahamihira wrote Brihad Samhita. It was an encyclopedia of astronomy, in which he had stated that the moon revolves round the earth and the earth revolves round the sun. The Gupta age is also called the Golden Age of Ancient India. Many significant activities associated with the field of art and architecture took place under the royal patronage.